essence of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a scripture which is most widely studied in among the seekers. As far as spiritual content is concerned, Bhagavad Gita is the essence of the Vedas. In Vedas, we say that the main teaching is the Mahavakya in the form of Tattvamasi, that you are, Tat Tvam Asi. This message, Tattvamasi, you might have heard, is revealing Tvam means I or you, its identity with Tat, that. That means Brahma. So Tattvamasi is actually similar to Aham Brahma Asmi. Aham Brahma Asmi is not any different from Tattvamasi. This Tattvamasi talks of my highest nature, that I am infinite. How it is presented in Bhagavad Gita is what we are going to see. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. I was mentioning about the number 18, 1 and 8. 1 represents Purusha and 8 represents Prakriti. So 18 is this magic number, combination of Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha and Prakriti means this entire world. Whatever we see is nothing but Purusha plus Prakriti. So 18 chapters are there in Bhagavad Gita. These 18 chapters are divided into groups of 6 each. First 6 chapters, they talk about Tvam, means the individual, Jiva. Next 6 chapters, they talk about Tat, means God. And the last 6 chapters, they have the teaching Asi or equals, and some other topics are also covered in those last 6 chapters. More specifically, if you want, chapter 13 to 15 is Asi. So Tat Tvam Asi is complete from 1 to 15. The That's why 15th chapter is chanted in most places before meals, in ashrams. 16, 17, 18, these three chapters are miscellaneous chapters. They talk about things which were mentioned in 1 to 15 but not elaborated. So that elaboration is given in the last three chapters. Some topics which are required for our evolution. So in this way, in 18 chapters, the message is Tattvamasi. The message Tattvamasi by itself is enough if we can understand. Since we don't understand the import of that teaching, the significance of the teaching by itself, that's why it is elaborated in Gita. Now let us see what is this first 6 chapters, first group of 6 chapters, which we understand as Tvam, means you and I, the individual. So those 6 chapters, they talk about individuals' problems. First, that any topic, any discussion, it should begin with my problems. If they don't address my issues, then I will think that teaching is not relevant for me anywhere. So first 6 chapters will have my problems of a Jiva. Number 1. We may say, no, I don't have any problem. Why? Remember, Arjuna is the representative for all Jivas. You saw Nara and Narayana. Nara is also someone who has done tapascharya. He is also a rishi. He plays the role of Jiva in that story of Mahabharata. So individuals' problems, what are they? We will see. Next is individuals' Purushartha. Purushartha means what all things this individual can accomplish as you and I. Third is sadhana for this Jiva. So Jiva's problems, Jiva's Purushartha, Jiva's sadhana. This should result in understanding the implied meaning of the word I. Implied meaning. There is one direct meaning. When I say I am sitting, the direct meaning of the word I am talking. But there is one implied meaning. That implied meaning is arrived at when Jiva goes through sadhana. So this is the theme of first 6 chapters. Now let us see a little bit detail of this. As a Jiva, my life has lots of uncertainties. I am always unsure of what is going to happen next. So every Jiva is associated with this aspect. This is a defect. When we don't know what is going to happen next. And that's why people want to know their future, that's why they want to secure their future, by accumulating wealth, by having relations with those people who are set, so that you have somewhere to go, somewhere to hold on to, something where you can have shelter. We build our houses for this purpose only. We have retirement plans, we have insurance, everything is for making sure our future is secure. So insecurity is one of the problems that Jiva has to face. Second is, when this Jiva begins his life, he always feels he is in control of his life, he is in charge. I will do whatever I want to do. As he grows, he realizes, I am not the controller. As I gave the example of chess, you make one move, but you don't know how many other players are there, who is making the move, and the game keeps changing. So this aspect makes this Jiva very humble. He realizes, I am not the controller, I am only a contributor. I can only contribute to some extent, to the best of my ability and my knowledge. But what will be the outcome, I have no control. You take any example, let's take example of children. Parents will make sure that they get the best education, best food, best lifestyle, everything. What will end up happening? Nobody knows. It's not in your control. So this is another defect in, or another reality of Jiva's life problems. Third is the problem of transmigration, samsara. Jiva has no control when to stop this. My old age, my disease, my death is not in my hands. My birth, where I will be born, in which house, in which family, in which body, as a human being, as an animal, man, woman, devata, nothing is in our hands. At what time I will be born, we cannot decide. At what time I will die, we cannot decide. Nothing. This samsara, this is called samsara. Going from one body to another body, one life to another life. In this journey, we don't have control. When Jiva realizes these things, see, only those people who think, how did I end up here? How did the other person end up in this situation? How come one person has more wisdom than the other? How come one person has more problems than the others? So when you start thinking, then you realize the cause is not something what we only see externally. There is something much more. So instead of just living superficially, when I start thinking, then only I realize there is something called law of karma. This is inseparable from Jiva. You cannot say, I will live as a Jiva, but I have nothing to do with the law of karma. Inseparable. So thinkers come to this conclusion, which means we all are bound by the law of karma. It is good, it is also not good. When we say Jiva is bound, has bondage, Jiva wants moksha, liberation, you ask a question, liberation from what? Moksha from what? Majority of the people won't even know from where we want liberation. So they'll say liberation from problems, liberation from samsara also when they say. They actually have not understood what is samsara. So these two aspects that I just mentioned, samsara means this transmigration where I have no control over birth, death, disease, old age, relations, union, separation. Right? If I want someone to be with me all the time, I have no control. If I want someone to never come in my life, I have no control. This is samsara. This is law of karma. These two, Jiva cannot be free from. He is associated with this. From this we want liberation. Actually, I want freedom from this. Mumukshu means a person who is seeker of liberation. So this is Jiva and his problems. These are shown in Arjuna. Arjuna has this fear of uncertainty about war. What will happen? Will I survive and my near and dear ones depart? He says, I don't want such result. If we all die and women survive, then also there will be problem. Because those women will be taken away by some other men who are not part of this war. Then the whole society will collapse. Our tradition of Pandavas and Kauravas will not last. This is his other fear. He also understood when he entered, thinking that I will control this war. I am in charge. When he realized all these people are there to fight, he understood he doesn't have control. That made him humble and he surrenders to Bhagwad. So with this, Jiva's problems are highlighted. Now what is his Purushartha? So we say Purushartha means self-effort. First part of self-effort is to realize I am in trouble as a Jiva. As long as I live in this world as a Jiva, actually I am in trouble. There is one beautiful example given in one Upanishad. There is one person, he is brought to the king with shackles and some chains and all. So the king in the assembly, he asks, what is his crime? Why is he chained like this? So the police, they say, king's men, they say, he has committed theft. Then king will ask him, what do you have to say? He says, no, I have not committed the theft. This is normal. Police will have some charges on him and he wants to plead, he is not guilty. So now, there is a test. Who is right? So how do you test? In the olden days, they will have one hot parachute. Parashurama had the parachute, axe. Red hot, heated. They'll put it. But they will not heat it in fire. They will heat it with mantra. If the person speaks the truth, he will not be burnt when he holds on to it. But if he speaks the untruth and he holds it, he'll get burnt. This is the test. So this person, he is speaker of truth. He says, I am not guilty and you are not. So he touches, nothing happens. He is rewarded and released with all honor and dignity. If he has committed the crime and he speaks untruth, he touches the hot iron, he'll get burnt. So burning is one punishment already given. Second punishment is, king will punish now and he'll be locked. As long as I am a Jiva and this hot iron parachute is this world. I am the Jiva with this notion. If I grab this world, I'll be burnt. Means I will go through sufferings. And I will have bondage, rebirth. On the other hand, if I touch this world, this hot iron, the world, with the wisdom, Aham Brahma Asmi, not Jiva, I will not be burnt. I will be released. This is the example given in Chandogya Upanishad. So what is the significance? My point was, as long as I live in this world as a Jiva, I am already in trouble. Whether I realize it or not. Because my time clock is already ticking. I don't have much time. Unless I work for my freedom, my main goal, I am losing my time. So, as a Jiva, this is first thing that I should realize. This is my first Purushartha. Then I should start Karma Yoga, this is my second Purushartha. So in Bhagwad Gita, you know, Karma Yoga is the first main teaching. Karma Yoga means when I am serving, one of the questions that had come, how do I live in this world? How do I interact with people, whether it is family people or yatris or business related? I am connected to God. God is connected to others. So therefore, my connection with others is through God. Anga is connected to another Anga through Angi. Right? I get given the example how one hand will help the other hand. Or if I want to scratch my back, his back says, can somebody scratch me? The hand will say, you do it on your own. Don't ask me. It doesn't happen like that, right? Everybody helps. Hands will put food in the mouth will do the chewing, it will be distributed to all. Like that, in Karma Yoga, my Karma Yoga is not actually karma focused. Karma Yoga is yoga focused. Karma means the emphasis is on doing something. Yoga means my union with God is more focused. That I am connected to God. Everything is connected to God. This is more important. People think Karma Yoga means doing karma. Actually, Karma Yoga means connecting to God, realizing that connection. Connection is always there. How can we as an individual live separately from the five elements? Nobody can. I need space. There is space outside. Air, fire, water, earth. Nobody can say, I will live a life apart from all this. Part of it is given. My emotions, world's emotions, they are connected. For my emotional support, I need world. I provide emotional support to world means some people, not everybody. So everything is interconnected. This aspect we should realize. With this, when I serve in the world, in different ways, I give food, I give clothing, I give shelter, I give medicines, I do so many things. Even if I can't do anything, let us, if I have things and I do, it is wonderful. If I don't have things, or if I have but I cannot for some limitations, just understanding the connection with God itself is a yoga. This is what we are expected in Karma Yoga. This is our first or second Purushartha. Another Purushartha, which is an optional, which is also indicated in the first 6 chapters of Bhagwad Gita, is sannyasa. Just as Karma Yoga is prescribed, Karma sannyasa is also prescribed to those who search. Then I do Karma Yoga. After that, I will be either ready for Karma Sannyasa or Jnana Yoga, whichever way, and I strengthen this wisdom through dhyana. This is end of first 6 chapters. Next set of 6 chapters is about Tat, means God. You know, if you study Bhagavad Gita, you will wonder, in first 6 chapters one theme is going on. Suddenly from 7th chapter, Bhagavan says, now I will tell you about myself. You wonder, something was going on suddenly, like on TV, you are watching something. By mistake, somebody changes the channel. Some new thing starts coming. You say, what happened? But what is happening is, Tom Pada Vichara is over. Now Tat Pada Vichara is started. So those people, who want to just read things on their own, or think, oh, Bhagavad Gita is available, I download, I read. You will, if you have really inquisitive mind, you will wonder what is going on. How did suddenly topic change? From Jiva to Ishvara. As Ishvara, Bhagavan talks about his nature. What is God? See, what is Jiva? The one who is really helpless is a Jiva. The one who is in samsara is a Jiva. The one who is bound by law of karma is a Jiva, which is everybody. Who is Ishvara? Opposite of this. Ishvara is not bound by the law of karma, in fact the one who established the karma siddhanta. He says, I don't have birth and death. Bhagwan's nature, no janma, no karma. Whenever he wants, wherever he wants, in whichever form, he can take birth. This is all avatars. So we saw there in Badri Narayana, one room they had these Dashavatara. But you already know all those. This Avatara Siddhanta is also part of Sanatana Dharma. Just as Karma Siddhanta is part of Sanatana Dharma. So this is about Bhagavan. What is Ishvara? Then Bhagavan talks about this 1 and 8. Purusha and Prakriti, he calls it as Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. Chaitanya and other than Chaitanya. He said these both are my expressions only. I alone express as consciousness. I alone express as matter. So Bhagavan is both. Then, when it comes to the nature of Ishvara, he talks about 3 aspects. These are not directly mentioned in Gita, but indirectly mentioned. One is God in one form. Form which we use for worship, puja. Form for which there is japa, where you put flowers, water, chandana, kumkum, all alankaras, seva, what you do is there. All temples are constructed for this Eka Rupa Ishvara. Second aspect is Sarva Rupa Ishvara. God in all forms. All names and all forms are God's only. What is the difference between first and second view? I'll example, you can understand. Let's say if I am a carpenter, I bring wood, I bring some instruments, and I make one table. I am the creator of that table. So who is God? God is creator of the world. This is one understanding. Basic thinking. What is the nature of God? God is the creator. Now in this example, as a carpenter, I can bring wood from outside. I can bring instruments from outside. When I have to create the world, where will the raw material come from? I need raw material. I need instruments. Where will it come from? You cannot say it is already existing. If it is already existing, then God is not God. Because somebody else has created those things. So the second aspect of God, which says, just as in the example, carpenter is different from wood and instruments. God is not different from the world. God is world. So this is a progression in my thinking about God. Those people who can't think God is creation, they stop at God is creator. They can't move forward. But they don't ask this question, if God is only creator, where did the material come from? So God is creation along with creator. There is nothing other than God. This is very evolved vision. Why do I want to know that? Can I not live without that? This would be the question. The answer is, if I have this vision, I am always one with God. Everything is one with God. In my life, I will not have likes and dislikes. My acceptance will be 100%. Because whatever is happening is God only. There is nothing wrong. So people say such things, We have all acceptance, everything is God, everything is fine, this, that. Without understanding that when they make this statement, the prerequisite for that is God has to be creation. So this is second aspect. God as one Rupa, Eka Rupa. God as Sarva Rupa. Then the third is God beyond Rupa, beyond Nama Rupa. Arupa, formless. But to discover that, I have to go through stages. I cannot say, just show me the last one. There is no last one directly. Of course, different people have preferences, which is okay. But it is a journey, and I evolve through that. After that, God talks about Jiva's another Purushartha as far as Bhagwan is concerned, Ishvara is concerned. And that Purushartha is Bhakti. Even though it is Jiva's Purushartha, because it is associated to Ishvara, it is discussed in the second set of 6 chapters, Bhakti Yoga. And there he talks about varieties of bhaktas, varieties of bhaktis, etc. And the lakshana of great bhakta. So this is all covered in second set of 6 chapters, all about Ishvara. It is very nicely placed. And Bhagavan talks about his vibhuti, his glory. So if somebody would ask, God, where can I see? He says, among rivers, I am Ganga. Among mountains, I am Himalaya. This is his vibhuti. Means wherever you see anything glorious, that is me. Anything that is brilliant, anything divine, anything sattvic, it is easy to see Bhagavan's glory there. Something which is inferior is also God, remember, because God is everything. But to see God there is not easy. So he says you start with at least those which are most wonderful. Then gradually you expand your vision. So this is second set of 6 chapters. So far, Tvam and Tat are discussed. The implied meaning of the word Tvam is understood through Jnanam and Dhyanam, there, abiding in that. Implied meaning of Tat, God, is known through God without form. Right? One Rupa, Ekarupa, Sarvarupa, Arupa. That Arupa is implied meaning of Tat. Jiva's implied meaning is consciousness. That consciousness and this Arupa God, God without any form, is equated from 13th chapter onwards. They are one. So the formless God is my true nature. This is the Asi part. In that, the 3 gunas are discussed elaborately. Sattva guna, Rajo guna and Tamo guna. Because we need steps. As I was explaining. Sattva in every aspect of life, which will help me attain Sattvic Sukham. Then how I go beyond 3 gunas, the Gunatita. That is also discussed in 14th chapter, in that Asi part. And then 15th chapter is like a summary of entire Gita in 20 shlokas. Because people don't have much time now. How many? 700 shlokas. And generally what happens, when you start studying first chapter, if you are studying one day in a week for 1 hour, to do so many shlokas, it will take you 7-8 years if you are consistently studying. And by the time you come to 14th chapter, you forget where we started. Because at that time, I was at this age and my children were doing this. Now I am there and my children are somewhere. Everything is so different. Bhagavan says, okay, I will summarize the whole thing in 20 shlokas. Now at least you pay attention. And as he teaches, we realize, oh, this is what he has been saying. The gist is given again as Tattvamasi in 15th chapter. In Bhagavad Gita, there are lots of teachings from Upanishads. And one of the Upanishads which is heavily used in Bhagavad Gita is Kathopanishad. Kathopanishad mantras are seen, directly lifted in Bhagavad Gita. And certain things in teaching they are provided in Bhagavad Gita to show that Gita has its root in Vedas, in Upanishads. Bhagavad Gita is not an independent teaching. People in this world, they like the word independent. In our Shastra, it is not a good idea. It should be dependent on Vedas. Because if it is independent, it will not be Sanatana. It has to be connected to Vedas. So that is also there in Gita. So Jiva's problems are highlighted, Purusharthas are given, Sadhana is given, Ishvara's Swarupa is given, Jiva's other sadhana as might be Bhakta Lakshana, Ishvara Swarupa, and then Jiva Ishvara Aikya is given in Asi, and then some other sadhanas in the form of how to gradually go from Tamoguna to Rajoguna to Sattvaguna and beyond. In this way, in 18 chapters, Tattvamasi is presented in Bhagavad Gita. So every Shastra has a clear purpose, clear vision. Sometimes it is good to first have that vision, then enter into the bigger picture. And sometimes having seen the whole picture, then again you go and visit the summary. Then you realize, oh, this was there. So we don't miss anything. Okay? So this is what I thought would be a good idea to share with all of you.
It was wonderful.
Thank you. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punaha Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadyapta Dehaya